Blog Talk Radio.
Hey everyone, this is Travis from Gaveltown Divas. I'm very, very excited to be here with you all tonight. This is my first night premiering on Blog Talk Radio, thanks to my amazing friend Dawn, who has let me join her network. You guys are in a very special treat. A few weeks ago, I got the privilege and honor to talk to Mr. Wally Kurth, who plays Justin Kiriakis on Days for Life, and was previously before that on General Hospital, as well as many other roles that he's played on various shows. He was such a class act. What a joy to speak to him. And tonight, you get a special treat to listen to our interview and the callers that call in. I hope you enjoy and have some fun. Thanks, guys.
Oh, we have South California on the call, so I'm going to go take it.
Okay.
Hello? Hello.
Travis, this is Wally.
Hi, Wally. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Can you hear me okay? Because I'm in my car.
I can hear you just fine. Thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to hit the road, and I'll just be driving back to my, oh, jeez. Sorry. Cool. Okay. You nearly got in a wreck. That would have been good.
Oh, no.
Go ahead. She just going totally honked at me. Oh, now she's being nice when I backed up. Anyway, wow, you most, anyway, that was good. I almost got in a wreck. Here we go. Well, I'm in the car, and I'm driving, so I just want to make sure that the sound system was good.
Yeah, no, you sound perfect. So, this is Gabtown Divas. This is a show that I run. I've been running this show for about a year now, and tonight we're being joined with a good friend of mine who I met through Days Are Alive, thanks to Days Are Alive, through online. So I'm going to let her introduce herself to you. She's my guest co-host for the evening because my co-host that I just got the other day, I just got a new co-host. They're going to be starting soon. So my guest co-host tonight is Dana. So you want to say hi to Wally?
Sure. Hi, Wally. My name is Dana, and I think I go back with Days to the first day you were on the show.
Oh, yeah, back in 1987.
Right? I think that would have been you showing up with one of the servants in bed in Uncle Victor's house, maybe?
Uh-huh.
Does that sound right?
I started at my very first scene. I woke up in bed. I think, actually, my very first scene, I was under the covers, and I think there was lots of giggling going on.
Right.
And I was in Paris. And a little French cutie pie pops up and speaks with his French accent. And I think I made a phone call to Uncle Victor.
Oh,
and
right.
I said I'm coming in soon. I'll be there in a little while. And then the next scene, I was on an airplane, once again under a blanket. This is my favorite line of all time. And the blanket, it's revealed, it's pulled up, and it's revealed I'm under there with this flight attendant. And she kind of like gets herself presentable, stands up, and looks down at me and says, "Now, what was your name again?" And I said, "Justin." And she says, "Well, you were just incredible." Come on. What an entrance. And then, I think my third scene was with the female servant at the Kiriakis mansion. It was Dale Christian. She was Peter's wife at the time.
Right.
And she worked at the mansion. And that was like the very first three scenes with three different women. organizer of all time.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah.
That is so awesome.
Those were the days.
Yeah, you made me laugh. That is just wonderful. And it's funny because we were talking about your entrance on Days. So it's so funny you brought it up. We were just having that conversation tonight, weren't we?
Yeah.
And yeah, because we're huge Days fans. I've been a Days fan for 20 years. So not as long as my co-host has been, but it's a wonderful show. It's just something that it stays as a part of your life, and you just it's like family. It's crazy. It's crazy.
No, exactly right. And 25 years ago when I was on the show, I was younger and single, and I did my share of bouncing around in beds, and of course now I'm older and married with children, and and here I am, Justin, married with children, and I think it's kind of neat for an audience to see not just my character, but there's a lot of characters on the show grow up and then have children, and then the audience members are having children, and it's just kind of like there's not another genre in entertainment that that has that scope, that can bring that part to the table, where you're seeing a character grow up with you.
Exactly. And that's how I feel with a lot of them. Of course, like EJ kind of aged rapidly throughout the years, so we were supposed to kind of grow up together, but I guess we didn't. And he was supposed to be the same year as Will, so it kind of messes up that way. But I've grown up with a lot of them, so it's just wonderful. It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah,
so,
it really is.
I'd like to start out with something different. I've never done this before, and one of my friends gave me the idea. So I want to do a word association game. I'm going to just give you a few words and tell me the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
So let's just say we'll do it this way. Let's just say Sammy Brady.
You're saying Sammy Brady?
Yes.
Manipulative?
What'd you say?
I couldn't hear.
Manipulative?
Yes. Perfect. Okay. Awesome. And how about Stefano? Devious.
Good.
And how about Adrian?
I would say, that's a tough one because I think of emotional.
And I'll do one last one. I don't want to, interrupt your driving too much, but how about Caroline Brady?
I would say, noble.
Oh, all right, awesome. I thought it would be a cool icebreaker to do. You know what I mean? Something just to see what you think of these characters. We've been watching these characters. We've grown in our opinions of these characters for so many years. You know what I mean? And you working with these characters and being the actor on the scene and being, one of these characters. I was just wondering what what your opinions were. What was the first thing that came to mind for you? So thank you for doing that.
Sure.
All right, and I'll let my co-host ask you a question because I know she has plenty.
Well, I do. I want to go back. I did some research on you, and, of course, I found out you're from Montana, and I was wondering if you would tell me a little bit about your musical background. What do you play? I've been listening to Kristen Taylor today, and just wondering if you'd tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I grew up in Montana, and when I was growing up, I wasn't in a band. I actually was in high school, like drama class and choir, and I did musicals. And when I went to college, I was at UCLA, and I was a theater major. And once again, I was interested in musicals. My dad was really into musicals and stuff, and so he kind of encouraged it. And my parents were really cool about that. I mean, I was the youngest of 5 kids, and they knew I had talent. And when I was really little, I did this play, and actually it was a musical. Everyone was very supportive and thought I really had a gift, and so it was just something that I always felt very strong about, and it wasn't just acting, it wasn't just music, it was like musicals. So my very first job was a musical, a Broadway musical that toured the country, and I joined the chorus of it, and a year and a half later I was actually starring in the lead on Broadway. So it was really kind of an amazing, entrance into, this whole show business, was through the theater. And I was always very proud of that I started my career in the theater, which is where, it's our history, it's our ancestors. Our theatrical ancestors started on stage, Shakespeare and such. And so it was really, and plus it was an old-time musical. It was an operetta. It was Gilbert Sullivan. So, and it was by Joe Papp, produced by Joe Papp on Broadway. It was called The Pirates of Penzance. And
I did that in high school myself.
Okay. Well, I was the fifth and final pirate king, and I couldn't even grow a beard. I had to glue one on. I looked like a kid, and I was 22 years old. And but that's really, I always saw myself as doing music and acting together. So one thing about doing the soaps, when I was on Days of Our Lives, I wasn't long before I started singing, playing the guitar and singing to Adrian and doing all sorts of, musical numbers. And then when I went over to General Hospital, they had me do the same thing. Actually, one of the producers on Days of Our Lives, Shelley Curtis, knew what I did on Days. And so when she went over to GH, she told the executive producer at the time that, you really should use Wally's singing ability, too. He's really great. So they did. And then at the time, right when they started doing the whole band thing on the show, I was singing with Christian, just as an acoustic duo. He was just a friend of mine, and we decided there was a lot of coffee shops way back in the early 90s, and we started just playing coffee houses as an acoustic duo. And we just slowly became a band, a trio, and then there's 4 of us, and then 5 of us. And that's kind of how we started. It was really organic and just sort of built naturally. And then when they needed a band at General Hospital, I said, well, let's just use my band. And so then we just used the actors the musicians that were in my band on the show, and then we just started writing songs for the show as well. So that's kind of how we got started.
Well,
wow.
Do you play anything besides the guitar?
Yeah, I play the piano. I play enough guitar. I play enough guitar and piano to basically accompany myself. But I can pull out just about any sheet music, and as long as there's guitar chords, I can find my way around it, and just play enough to conceal how bad I am. But I can, I can get through a song and get through Christmas carols and that kind of stuff.
More than that.
And then we have the nights where there's the Barry Manilow songbook comes out, and we all get to sit around the piano and think Barry Manilow and Neil Diamond.
Nice.
So, I have a beautiful piano at home, and I actually really like playing the piano a lot.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome.
I thought I remembered you might have played the piano once on Days even.
Yeah, I did. I remember I rent out the restaurant there and sang "Only in My Heart," a song that was written by forget who wrote that. They wrote another hit song that was on Days of Our Lives. And, the funny thing is I probably sung more on daytime TV than just about anybody on daytime.
Isn't that
so
something?
That includes Jack Wagner, Rick Springfield, Michael Damian, and yet I'm the only one without any kind of radio play,
No.
None of the songs, none of the music, for whatever reason, was ever meant to be heard on the radio. Oh, well.
Well, we need to work on that.
Much to my partner's chagrin, I'm sure. He probably thought, oh, my God, here it is. Here's my ticket. But it was a double-edged sword. When we were in Hollywood and we were trying to get a music deal, our music was kind of more country, more like heartland pop rock, guitar pop. And so they told us to go to Nashville. And then we were in Nashville. They were like, well, wait a minute. So you're a TV band, but you're not really country. So we were just a tweener, just a tweener between country and pop and between TV and radio. And so it was just one of those things that was kind of a double-edged sword that we had a lot of people. We were the most famous band that no one ever heard of.
Yeah. I love that song, Tread on the Tires.
Yeah, that was a new one.
I like that. It's it's one of those getting older songs. I enjoy that.
Yeah, it's cool. Kristen, my music partner, he lives in Nashville, so we don't see much of each other anymore, but he did a video, and we did a video of those two songs, Get the Band Back Together and Tread on the Tires, and did a couple, did a little spoof on just that. We have a long, a little video of us getting back together. But, yeah, it's hard now because the band's all over the place now. Everyone lives in different parts of the country.
What I'd like to do, to break away for a second, because I know we both have a lot of questions, but I don't want to ask you a million. I kind of want to make it as relaxed as I can. But I do want to ask you a few myself. What was one of your favorite scenes to date that stands out in your mind? What story challenged you as an actor the most?
Well, I tell you, recently, probably the one thing that challenged me the most was just recently on Days of Our Lives, where I had to be this, the lawyer stuff that's coming up. You'll see it. We were crunching 3 episodes a day. Allie had to go to New York to do some publicity for her book. So I did 10 episodes in 5 days, and 2 of the days we had 3 episodes each, and it was just a lot of lawyer stuff where I had to stand up in front of the judge and just, pretend to be a lawyer and pretend to talk like I know what I'm talking about.
Well, we know.
And that is really hard compared to just looking into your wife's eyes and telling her how much you love her, When it comes to relationships, it's all pretty easy. But when you have to, use, if I've never been a doctor, I've only been, a lawyer and a businessman. And there were times when I was on General Hospital where I had to do a lot of technical stuff, where it was a lot of business stuff, and it's hard. It's really hard to get your mind around all that stuff. I have great empathy for doctors and lawyers now on television, because to make it real and to make it feel like you're speaking naturally, it's really, really tough.
Well, and what you brought up General Hospital. What I wanted to ask you was, it kind of ties into this. What's the difference in playing a character on Days and one on General Hospital? There's 2 different situations. There's 2 different characters, 2 different lifestyles on the show. 2 different families. It's like what's the comparison?
Well, it's interesting because both characters are kind of rich boys, and they're both definitely kind of born with silver spoons, and they're both really strong families. The Quartermain family is obviously kind of like the Kiriakis family. It's the rich family in town, and they have a lot of power and a lot of control. But the thing that's very different about the 2 characters for me, and this is how I relate. I mean, I don't think of them any differently, except that the way they behave with the people around them. And that's what's really
right.
fun. I mean, when I'm on General Hospital, I have a mother, which is something I don't have on Days of Our Lives. I don't even have a father or a mother. You know.
Oh, that's right.
And on Days of Our Lives, I have a wife, you know, of 20 years. And on General Hospital, I'm single and I have, you know, a couple broken marriages, you know, basically. And so that's I'm much more sort of like struggling, you know, with my personal life on General Hospital. Whereas on Days of Our Lives, you know, there's a little bit more stability with my wife, you know, with a wife of 20 years and a son, you know, and then I have this relationship with my son too, and a gay son, which is even better. You know, it's how great is that? How different is that? And that's just a lovely aspect to bring out in my character. And so that's really how I look at it. It's just the relationships are so different that, and I like doing both. I mean, I wish I could do both. Honestly, they really are different in that regard. I mean, my mother working with Jane Elliott, she's an old dear friend, and I adore working with her. And it's just that's the big difference.
Awesome. I was just curious. I'm not really someone that watches General Hospital religiously. I wish I did, but Days just consumes too much of my time. I just watch Days, and I mean that's like every day, and then, you know, doing the talk show, and then I have a Days page that I run in support for the show. So that's kind of like my big thing. But you know,
of course,
I had watched scenes of you on there, but I didn't get the whole gist of your character on General Hospital. But of course, we all know your character and love your character on Days. So I was just interested in your, you know, thought, your whole mindset on the difference between the two. So thank you very much for answering that.
Sure.
Dana, go ahead if you want to ask another question, because I could talk all night.
Oh, okay. Yeah, true. We were talking about the Kiriakis family, a couple of us I'm on another fan page as well, and we were wondering if first off, we're really glad to see Justin back on the show and having storyline, but would you like to see the Kiriakis family grow and possibly bring in some of your other sons?
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I would love to work more. You know, it's I mean, you know, every actor in town would like to work more. And I know we do have 3 other boys. And I'd love it. But at this point, I'm just happy with what I got. You know, I'm not going to complain, that's for sure. And but no, I mean, I've got a good. This is the beginning of a really fun 3-month run here that the audience is, I think, really going to enjoy. I've really enjoyed it, and the next 3 or 4 months, and I mean, it's been good. It's been really good writing, and so I'm looking forward to actually watching it. You know,
right. One of the things that I really enjoyed, I told Travis, I think one of the best storylines ever was the birth of Alexander. And Jane Elliott you two were awesome together. And I always said I'd like to see him come back. And that was one of the best storylines about all the twists and turns, how that came out.
Yeah.
So he, I guess, would be. It was a great story, and I wondered if I can add this on. How much did the people that you've worked with for years, like Jane Elliott, John Aniston, Judy Evans, and I guess Stephen Nichols as well. Which ones did you have fun with all of them? Did you do a lot of ad-libbing? I mean, I have really enjoyed watching you back then. We saw more of you.
Thank you. I was talking to. I worked with JJ today. I just came back from work. I was working with JJ, who's played by Casey Moss, and he had a soap opera digest, and he was looking at it, and there was like a little poll about favorite new characters, and he won the poll. It was like 37% I beat the next person by 3 percentage points. And I just said, good for you, Casey. That's awesome.
Oh.
I said, when you don't win the next poll, don't take it personally, okay? And he started laughing. And but he was asking me about, you know, the days when I told him I started in 1987, and he said, so was the show bigger back then? And I go, well, there was a heck of a lot more viewers. And, you know, we used to go out almost every weekend and go to a mall, and they'd pick you up in a limousine, and you'd fly first class, and you got paid, you know, more money to do those than you did, than you got paid, you know, to act on the show. You'd go out and you'd do, like, car shows and sign your autograph for 6 hours for an entire day. And I said it was just kind of crazy, and the ratings were through the roof. I mean, it was like, you know, the ratings were like 5-6 times higher than they are now. And I explained it was just because there were fewer networks or fewer channels. There's really only like 15 channels, you know, and network television was making a lot of money, and daytime it had a lot of viewers. I said they were still, back in those days, they were still creating new soaps. Remember all those, Texas, all those, they were still creating, like Santa Barbara, they were creating new soaps, Generations. I mean, it was soap operas were a cash cow. They weren't dissolving soaps. They were creating soaps. So he was kind of wide-eyed when I was talking about it. But to answer your question, it was just a different era, and you rehearsed all day long. You had a rehearsal in the morning. You had a camera block. Then you ate lunch. Then you had a dress rehearsal. Then you got notes, and then you taped the whole show starting around 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And so you'd have all day to kind of work on it. And I came from the theater, so I was the kind of guy that really tried to honor the writer. You know, they put their time in effort, and unless the writing was really awkward and really bad, and I just could not remember it, I tried to do it as written. We didn't do a lot of ad-lib. And now, but, you know, you could do some ad-libbing because you had some time to maybe fool around, and, you know, you don't want to ad-lib too much because then the cameras would screw up, and then, you know, the other actor would speak over the top of you and wouldn't know when you're done talking and this and that. And there is a time crunch. And now there's such a time crunch that if you're ad-libbing, it's because you've forgotten what your lines are and you're just ripping, which happens. Sometimes you kind of go up, but you just keep, you know what you're trying to say, so you just keep going. And if it makes, you know, somewhat sense, they're going to take it, you know. There's no going back. You know, we don't have time. We're doing 8 shows a week. We're out of here by 5:30. Like today, I got done at 5:30, and the director asked us if we wouldn't mind just taping our dress rehearsal. So,
oh wow,
we didn't get a dress rehearsal. We walked in there and just as we were, it just roll tape as we rehearsed. And if they got it, they got it. You know. So there's not much fooling around now. Most of the fooling around happens in the makeup room, and everyone's awesome. I mean, honestly, our cast is great. You know, the General Hospital cast is really great too. You know, the days of the divas is over because it's just, you know, every actor is full of gratitude. They're just happy to be working. You know, actors these days it's hard to make a living. You know, as an actor. With the reality shows and the you know, just the nature of the business and the numbers came that everyone's just thrilled to have a job. It's
true, and we're so glad you guys have a job and you guys, you know, are on this show that you know, has affected so many people.
We're glad for people like you to keep watching and keep promoting it and still want to, you know. They still care about what happens to Chester and Adrian and Sammy and EJ, and, you know, that's what's fun about it. You know, we're here to entertain, and it's great. It's really, I think the people that watch the soaps now are the true fans, the diehards, and the people who are still acting on the shows, they're the diehards too. They're the ones that stuck with it and love the work, you know, love the format, love the genre.
Mm.
You know. I'm a romantic guy. I won't. You know, I'm kind of an old-fashioned romantic guy. I get it. I mean, I think I fall right into it. You know.
Oh, most definitely. So, in talking about the show and, just how it's affected so many people, one of the biggest storylines that has impacted, daytime television and impacted Days, and it's kind of been like a groundbreaking storyline, the way that Days has portrayed it. I want to ask you, when you first realized in the script that daytime TV was going to have a gay couple on the soap that you've been a part of for so many years, and you were going to be intertwined in the story, what was your first reaction?
Honestly, Judy and I have talked about this before, and this is the honest-to-God truth. We were backstage. It was dark, and it was a few years ago when Gary Tomlin, the current head writer, was executive producer. And he stopped us as we were walking off stage, I believe, and he waved us over and said, "Hey, I want to tell you guys that we're going to bring on one of your sons on the show." And we were like, "Yeah, all right, great." We're so happy about it. And then he said, "And he's going to be gay." And we were like, "Yes, all right." We started cheering and high-fiving each other.
Oh.
Now, that's probably not the reaction of most parents when they hear about their son when they come out of the closet or something. That's probably not the first thing they do is cheer, like this is the greatest news they could possibly hear. But for Judy and I, we were only thinking, and we didn't plan it, we were only thinking it was a fascinating story arc, that this would be fun to play, that it's different, that it's like, oh my gosh, it's not just, a straight son, it's like a gay son. And that to us just sounded so much more interesting and exciting, and we obviously, I think Gary started laughing because he was like, wow, I guess you're excited. So that was our reaction. So from then on, we were just like, okay, serve it up. We're ready for it. We're excited. So that was sort of our attitude. It couldn't have been, more positive.
Oh, that's awesome. That is so awesome. Hold on one second. There we go. All right, I have two Northern Virginians on the line. I don't know why. What I want to do right now, and I want to thank you. We're just curious as fans, what the reaction was, and I've spoken to a few of your castmates, and everyone has been, so, loving the storyline, and, they pretty much have said, that it's something that needed to come. So just hearing you say that, the fans in the chat room went berserk. It was just awesome. So thank you very much for that response, and it's so great to hear that you guys are so excited about this storyline. It's affected so many people. It's been an impacting. I've talked to many fans, and it's changed their lives. A lot of them have come out because of this storyline. I've been out myself for 10 years, so seeing a storyline like this happen on a soap that I have loved and adored for 20 years, it's amazing. So it's a beautiful thing.
And how do you feel, Travis? How does it make you feel when they start telling the story?
I was curious to see how they were going to go upon it, and the way they went around it, and the way they ensured that they took time and they, told the story of this young man who has so much questions and so much turmoil inside himself, and just to see his confusion and to see the fear and just to see everything that was, Chandler just did it amazingly. And they didn't just throw him in and say, okay, he's gay and that's it. They showed us every step of the way, and then to bring, Sonny in the way that, Freddie Smith has, worked with Chandler. It's as if these people have been a couple in real life for, 10 years themselves. It's beautifully written, it's beautifully acted, and as fans, we're just in awe. I'm just in awe that this storyline has been made possible and that it's been portrayed the way it has. And for the cast like you, to be, the way your relationship with Sonny is, and the way like Lauren Coslo's relationship with Chandler and Son and Freddie is, and Deirdre Hall, and Allison Sweeney, everyone's like, we just have done wonderful. So I'm a very proud fan. Very, very, very proud.
And you should be. And I'll tell you something. 25 years ago, I would have never ever predicted this. Ever. This is one of those, phenomenons in my lifetime that I would have. I mean, just the fact that, gay marriage is, I have friends who are married and just, the Supreme Court's now looking at this and they've already toppled DOMA, and I think they will. And it's just like it really is the civil rights movement of our time. And I just never. It's just shocking to me. It's surprising in a good way. And especially Days of Our Lives, because let's face it, it's got a very rural, old-fashioned audience. ABCs are a little more of they have more of a big city audience, and NBC was one of the first affiliates to get out into the rural America. And so they have a lot of fans that are in Bible Belt and now that have a little bit more of old-fashioned conservative views of life and stuff, and that this is not an easy story for them to tell. And I'm sure they turned off some people, But kudos to NBC and Days of Our Lives for staying with it,
Exactly. And you win some and lose some. Either way, there's going to be some kind of storyline on the show that the viewers would be like, well, I'm not a fan of this, no matter what the storyline would be. So, and the true diehard fans are going to stick with the show. And honestly, like, someday, somehow, if I ever get the chance to eat Chandler and Freddie, I'm telling you, I'm just, it's just a thank you. Just thank you for doing it. And thank you for taking the script and running with it and just, being so bold and so, just, wow, just awesome. So.
Well, let me tell you something about Freddie, and I think Chandler feels the same way. Freddie wears this like a badge. He is proud to, because he gets letters, and he's proud that he can, be the voice of, this, I want the cause, this, it's sort of a voice for, gay teens out there. And he's really proud of that. He really is. He takes great pride, and he's very protective, of his character and his couple. And I think Chandler feels the same way. I think they're both. Really, really, they're really proud of their story.
Wow, that's awesome. You can see that though. You can see that in their tweets and when they do their their fan question and answers and everything. They're so, just the way they talk about it, you can see the compassion in them. You know what I mean? So it's awesome. It's an awesome thing. So I would like to get to some fan calls. I have some fans that are waiting on the line.
Okay.
Do you have some time?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, awesome. I have two fans that are waiting, so I'm going to just bring on Misty. She's going to ask you a question. Misty, are you there? Misty?
Sorry, I had my phone on mute.
You good?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi, I'm a huge Justin Live fan, and I do love Justin and Adrian. They're one of my favorite couples, along with EJ and Sammy. So I'm definitely known as an EJ fan. But I was just wondering, how has it been working really closely with James Scott in that storyline?
Yeah, it's been really fun. Like I said, you'll see in the next few months, I work closely with both of them. As you can see by the show right now where Sammy obviously shoots Bernardi, and she needs a good defense attorney, and I'm the man. So I'm doing double duty, bringing down Stefano and keeping Sammy out of prison. So it's really fun. In fact, today I had a scene with JJ, and he was in the jail cell, and Allie was in the makeup room, and she goes, "You're going back to jail cell without me?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's not the same without EJ and Sammy." You'll see we have so many scenes in the jail cell coming up. It's hilarious.
That's great. Yeah, I've been
No,
waiting for
I
this.
really enjoyed working with them, and they're really fun, and they're like a couple kids. The way they they're really quite fond of each other. I mean, they're just like always joking and giggling and laughing. And I'm like, hey, you guys act like a couple of newlyweds.
They definitely have chemistry, and I love watching them when they're together on the show.
Yeah.
But yes, I am very excited about what's coming up with the scenes with that, and just very excited that you are back on the show. And I really love what you said about the Sunny and Will storyline, because I think that was a huge break for Days of Our Lives. And like you said, like I'm from the South and in the middle of the Bible Belt, and I do know a lot of people who, got turned off by it, but I think it's wonderful that the show did that, and I hope that they keep it the way that it is.
Mm.
Right on. Great. Well, thank
you for talking to me.
Yeah, thank you for calling.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for calling me, Misty.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And my new co-host, who I was going to have on the show tonight, but I know we only had so much time, so I told her to call in, and that way I can introduce her, and then she gets to chat with you for a second and ask you a question.
I'm okay, Travis. I got another 15, 20 minutes, so I'm all right.
All right, awesome. So I'm going to just bring her on. Thank you very much for taking that time as well. And hold on, I'm trying to unmute her, and the button's not letting me. Okay. Sheila.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I am a huge Days fan, so of course, obviously, I started watching with my grandmother when I was 4 or 5 years old. My grandmother had a crush on you, by the way. I guess my question
Justin was very romantic. I think there was a lot of grandmas that I think had a crush on me. I've been told.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm younger, and I think you're just as good looking. So she did. So I guess it works always. But my question is, I know, like I said, I've been watching Days, and I watch other soap operas too and other shows. But I guess, how do you distinguish between real world and fantasy world? Like when you're on camera and you're arguing with whether it's the Mirrors or Sammy or whoever, and you're arguing, I hate you, I will destroy you, blah, blah, blah. And then the next minute you're off camera, and how do you walk up to him and be like, oh, hi, you're pretty much family. I see you more than I do my own family. How do you not walk up to them and sometimes just want to wring their neck because you were just arguing with them a couple minutes ago?
Well, that's a really good question. And you know what? It's a really good question. And it just goes to show you, that emotions are not as real as maybe we think they are. Because we're just dealing with emotions. And, the really good actors, you believe their emotions because their emotional life is true. It's not real. But there's truth to it. And so when you go off stage, that's when, to me, it's real. I'm not, I don't have any problem doing that. But I'm one of those actors that when I can't remember the lines and I can tell when I'm not really connecting to the scene, I have to find the truth in that scene that makes sense to me. And even if it's something really trivial that I bring into the work that's true for Wally, I have to do that. Other actors maybe don't do that, but sometimes I don't. I don't always do that, but it's definitely my default where I have to go to something that's true to Wally. And now, I'll trick myself. I manipulate it, so I'm tricking myself. So it's not an emotion, like I said, that will continue on. You know what I mean? It's not like if I'm talking to Sammy about something, I'm talking to Allie about something, and I'm really mad at her, and I'm trying to impress upon her this really important, idea, and this point that I'm trying to make. Once that scene's over, hopefully I've made the point, and there's nothing more to be said, for one thing. And once again, it's not real. There's truth, but it's not real. And so that's how I kind of distinguish the two, And heart. That's exactly that's what actors do, you know.
Yeah.
If we were trying to convey an emotional truth, a soulful truth, and if it's true, and if it feels true to that person who's watching it, it'll resonate with them.
So true.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for taking your time to answer. One more quick little thing. The Celebrity Cruise coming up in September. Any chance of you going on that?
I'm not.
Aw, I am.
I haven't been invited.
Oh, really? I thought they said they invite all the whole cast.
Oh, well,
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I just thought that's what I heard. If you get a chance to go, I think you should definitely go, though.
Okay.
Well, thank you again for talking to me. I appreciate it.
What's your first name again?
Sheila.
Sheila. Nice talking with you, Sheila.
Thanks. You too.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye.
Hi, Sheila.
Hi.
And that is my new co-host that is going to be starting with Gabtown Divas officially next week. So I'm very, very psyched to have her join with me. So I think she's going to be great. So I'm very excited. And I'm glad she got to call in tonight. I think we have a Kim who's she's having phone issues. Kim, are you on the line right now? Is there a Kim on the line?
Kim?
Maybe not. Okay, so I'll move on to the next call. Brandon?
Hello.
Hi,
Can you hear me,
Brandon. Hello. All right, go ahead, Brandon. Try again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, Brandon.
All right. How's everybody doing?
All right.
Let's see. I'm a huge Dave fan, but I got a GH question for you.
All right. Do my best to answer it.
What's it like working with Jane Elliott and Leslie Charleston? I mean, the actresses are just phenomenal on screen. What are they like offset?
They are both very professional, and they're lovely. I mean, they're very different. But they're very close friends. But they definitely look at life a little differently. And, Jane is a neighbor, so I just had lunch with her last week. And, she's a mother of two, and she's still, there's just something about her that's very mothering and worrying about me. And I always got to be I always feel like I have to be on my best behavior, and that I try not to disappoint Mom, And of course, she plays my mother on General Hospital, so.
Right.
I try not to disappoint Mother. And Leslie, but it's not too much pressure. I mean, I'm okay. And Leslie is just, like a friend, a good, just like one of those, fellow co-star that I don't hang out with Leslie off camera as much as I do Jay. So, but whenever I'm with Leslie, we have a great time, and she's lovely. But she's been on the show for many, many years. And the neat thing about Jane and Leslie is they go back to the beginning of soap operas. I mean, Leslie was on a soap opera that was live television. So that was back in the early 60s, like late 50s, and she was like a teenager in New York.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I missed the beginning of the call here, but you're going to be returning to General Hospital, right, for a couple scenes or episodes?
You know what? I have not heard anything about General Hospital. I've been working so much on Days of Our Lives that I didn't have time. But I'm going to be Emmy this weekend, so maybe I'll get into. I'll have to talk to the writer and producer and try to get me over there again. I'd love to do both.
Awesome.
Unfortunately, though, the networks don't like it when actors do both shows. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it again. But if I'm not working very much on Days of Our Lives, they've been pretty cool about letting me go over there.
Right. Okay, well, thank you so much for taking my call.
All right, Brandon.
Thanks for calling in, Brandon.
No problem, Travis.
All right, awesome. Do you have time for another question?
I do.
Okay, I don't want to overwork you. I know you just got off a set here, so.
No, I'm still driving. I'm still. It's about a 45-minute hour drive from the studio to my house. So.
Oh my God.
I'm surprised that I've been able to I haven't lost the phone call yet. Because usually I hit a dead zone and you lose it. But I've been avoiding the dead zone.
Awesome. I'm glad we still have you. I'm gonna bring on the next caller. Her name's Maria.
Okay.
Maria.
Hi, Wally. It's Maria Ledoux. Haven't seen you in forever.
Yeah,
but,
Maria. Nice to hear your voice.
I was at the Bird premiere the other day, and I was thinking about when K&T was there. Just wondering if you guys have any plans for any other concert tours.
No.
No.
Yeah, no. When we were on General Hospital, we did a lot of concerts because we were known as sort of like the show band. But we just kind of we were doing a lot of concerts across the country. And I just sort of realized that we were sort of playing the same songs to the same fans, and I just couldn't do it anymore.
Oh.
And even though we were making money and raising money for a good cause, our charity, our charity, it was just it just got a little too much. And so we haven't done a concert in a long time. We did a concert last summer up in Billings, Montana, my hometown. They do these fundraisers for the zoo, and we were actually going to do it next week. We were going to do it again, and they canceled the concert because they couldn't get it together. So we were going to play another gig in this month, but that we had to cancel that. But no, we have no plans to play anytime in the future, unfortunately. How are you doing, Maria?
I'm doing pretty good. Definitely pretty good. How about you?
Well, I'm back on Days of Our Lives, and I'm having a good time. I'm having fun. I'm still working, which is always good. And no, it's been really fun. I never thought I'd ever go back to Days of Our Lives, honestly. I thought that part of my life was over, and I don't know. I just didn't think it would happen. So when they called me up and asked me to go back, I was just kind of stunned, and I didn't know how I was going to react, because it's kind of like the old saying, you can't go back, you can't go home.
Right.
But, I guess when it comes to work and a job, I think you can do that. I think you can't go home.
Yeah,
it's been really nice. It's been really nice being back home.
Yeah, it's great to see you and Judy together. So.
Yeah.
And of course, Irma was completely thrilled that you came back today. So.
Yeah. And I'm still on there.
Yep.
Show's still going. It hasn't been canceled yet. Hey.
That's big. All right.
Won't.
Here.
All right, Maria. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Just to add on that, it's not going to get canceled. We're going to have to think that way, because I tell everyone, if this show ever gets canceled, I'm going to be out of commission for a few weeks. I don't know. It's a part of who you are, It's crazy.
Yeah.
People think us soap watchers are crazy, and this is the only soap I watch right now. But it's just part of who we are.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's, like I said, I think there's a galvanizing between the actors and the fans now. Now that we're down to the core actors and the core fans, it's the bond is even stronger than it was. And it's deep. It's deep.
Oh, it is. It really is. I have one last caller, and then we'll tie things up.
All right.
Wrap things up, not tie things up. Wrap things up. Okay. Colorado Burning, you are on.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, Wally, it's Angie.
Oh, hi, Angie. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing okay right now. It's a little smoky here, but I'm doing good.
Oh, you're right. Because see, Angie used to come to all of our concerts, and she lives near Colorado Springs, and it's burning up over there, isn't it?
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, but everything's fine here where I'm at, so we're good.
All right. Good to know.
So, anyways, so are they gonna bring maybe maybe more of Justin and Adrian's sons. I mean, I think Sonny needs his big brother there.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they should bring Alexander on. I think that would be wicked.
Well, I mentioned Alex's name today.
Do you?
So I do. I mentioned Alex today. So maybe that's a sign that at least there's they have a name for at least our other son. That's good. That's good. No, I don't know. I don't know. There's no guarantee. I just don't know. I mean, there's.
Right.
I think. I don't know. It'd be great to have. It'd be great to have another son back. That's for sure.
Yeah. He could cause some havoc for the Kiriakis family.
Yeah, exactly. We need like our version of JJ.
Exactly. And with the mother like Angelica, yeah.
Oh yeah, they could bring Angelica back.
Awesome. That would be awesome.
The funniest thing about Angelica's character was that, remember, Jane had just left.
Right.
She just left while she went through the entire pregnancy. And they had a woman come on to replace her, and she came on and basically gave birth. And it was an actress that didn't really work out in the producer's mind, and so they let her go, and they brought on Judith Chapman. And it was like this poor actress that came on just to give birth to Alex and then leave. We had 3 Angelicas in a matter of 2 months. It was bizarre.
And then all hell broke loose.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, but someone tonight was just saying how much they enjoy. Oh, Danny, Dana was saying that she really loved the Angelica storyline.
Did she? I would love for her to come back.
The co-host, right, Dana? Are you there?
I am. That was some of the best writing I've ever seen. And then mixing that in with Joe finding out that Jack was her son, and to play with you and Stephen Nichols, I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, when Jack came on, that was interesting too. There was 3 different Jacks. In fact, the whole Jack, and the situation with Jack and Kayla, that's a story point that we're basically telling right now a little bit.
They messed him up a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you go. I just wanted to say hi and.
All right, Angie.
But
Angie,
I'm okay.
For those of you that you probably heard about it because I tweeted out a picture 2 weeks ago. We had a 30th anniversary of Judy Evans in daytime. We had a party here at Burbank, and Angie was there. So I just saw Angie a couple weeks ago. But it was a really great celebration, and there was a lot of fans there, and it was a celebration of Judy's amazing career. And we saw clips of her on Guiding Light. Oh my gosh, she was like 19 years old, I think, and it was just amazing. She looks great still, and she's still acting up a storm, and can cry as good as any actress I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
Oh.
That is a woman with some emotional truth.
That's awesome. We appreciate you calling in tonight, Angie.
Thank you. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
All right. As we wrap this up so you can, enjoy a few minutes apiece before you get home, I'm going to let my guest co-host ask you one last question, and then I'll do the same, and then we'll be done for you.
All right. Sounds great.
Wally, I have to say, I had notes, and you just covered everything. But, I mean, you are the most fun, just like we expected. Awesome. But I have a personal question. Do you any plans to do a fan fest in the D.C. area ever?
Oh, my gosh. Why don't you organize one? I have a niece in Washington, D.C., and my wife has a really, really dear friend in the Washington, D.C. area. and we've been trying to find a reason to go out there. I love Washington, D.C. Why don't we organize something? Why don't we organize an event? And I'll be happy to do it.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Doesn't even have to be a big one, you know.
Well, you know, I keep trying to find one that's close. I live near D.C. in Northern Virginia, and I keep wondering. Dee Hall used to go down to Virginia Beach, and I knew she used to go down there and visit her twin sister. And do a fan lunch. I'm an old timer. I've been watching it for 30 years. But anyway, I would love to. I follow you on Twitter, and I'm Menditard83. So if I ever yell at you, that's me. But I would love to.
Okay, what's your Twitter? What's your Twitter handle?
Menditard83.
Menditard, okay, 83.
Years
ago we did a concert in Alexandria, and when the band did a fundraiser there, and that was fun. But no, I don't have any plans on doing any PAs. It's, you know, like I was telling Casey, the PAs, the personal appearances, and the car shows and the malls. That's not something that I don't think that many people do anymore. I mean, even the young, really popular characters that are on the show, I don't hear them, like Casey or Nathan, even Sean. I mean, we don't want Sean's older guy, but no one's doing a lot of PAs like we used to. So we'll have to organize one.
Well, this sounds good to me. I would love to. I'd love something to happen in D.C. for a change. That we're feeling neglected up here.
All right. Keep that in mind.
I told her to come to Boston. There's a possibility I'm going to Boston this fall, in August. I'm hoping, if all goes well and I have, money for the gas and everything else, I'll be making it down to Boston. But so I have my fingers crossed if everything goes well with work and everything. But
the Dave's charity events are really well organized, and if you're a fan, you really get an opportunity to talk to the actors. And I've done a couple of those. I don't do them all. I'm not going to the one in Boston, I don't think.
I know.
But I went to the one in Atlanta. I've done Atlanta twice. I've done Boston once. But the actors that go are, really friendly. And like I said, it's. I know it's not cheap, but you definitely get your money's worth. There's a lot of FaceTime. And it's well organized and fun, and so if any of you out there, have any interest, just know that those days charity events are really well put together.
Yeah, and that's what I keep on hearing. They have quite a cast this year too. I mean, it's 6 guys. None of the girls are making it out, so none of the ladies.
Oh, really?
No, it's we have Galen and Sean and Eric and Greg and Chandler and James Scott.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be an interesting event. I've heard that Sean and Eric together, Eric Martzoff, are crazy. So I'm excited to see this whole thing happen if I can make it down. So I'm crossing my fingers. Yeah, like I said. Yeah, for sure.
I talked to Eric today, and he told me to tell you hi. By the way.
Oh,
say hi to Trent. Yep.
Nice. Thank you. That made my day. Wow. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
All right, you guys. Well, it was really fun talking with you.
Thank you so much.
I got to go relieve my babysitter now. It's 7 o'clock.
You have a wonderful night. It was a pleasure, and look forward to seeing you on Days and hopefully chatting with you in a few months again.
That sounds great. I really enjoyed it, and I'll be tweeting you soon.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
You take care. Have a great night.
You too. Have a nice night, everybody.
Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
All right. No one leave yet. I'm going to have us share our thoughts. Okay, so Eric Martzoff told him to tell him that I said hi.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Who said hi?
Eric Martzoff, Brady.
Oh, okay, Martzoff. Okay, I didn't understand. So awesome.
That's so crazy. So, okay, I have to get off my little cloud over here. Okay. So, anyway, what an amazing show. Before everyone leaves, I just want to promote for my good friend Brandon. My good friend Brandon and Missy, who called in, both of them called in tonight separately. They run their own show. It's called Common Grounds Radio. And you can find them actually on Facebook. Common Ground Radio. They have, it's at 7 p.m. Eastern on Sunday night. Do you want to check them out? They talk about the week on days. They do recaps, share their thoughts, Missy gives spoilers, everything. On Twitter, Common Ground Radio on Twitter. Sorry about that. And if you find Brandon, he's on Twitter. Missy's on Twitter. So yeah, definitely look out for Brandon's show. I'll tweet about it so you guys can find it and just find the link and listen to the old ones. It's awesome. So anyway, so I wanted to just promote for them. They're great people. They just started out with the show, and they're going to do amazing. So I'm so psyched for them. But I want to say thank you so much to my fabulous guest co-host tonight. Did you have fun?
I did. I had fun. It was awesome.
Oh, my God. What a good time. I mean, Wally was so down to earth like I knew he would be.
I know.
And he reminded me of, like, when I had Bill and Susan Hayes on the show, because they were just, so down to earth as well, and they were just, like, chill and relax, and it was, just fun, and they love to talk and share things, which is awesome because you need that, on a show, and to have someone that's, laid back and just, likes to share, what's going on. So that made me very, very happy.
I really appreciate it.
Oh, my gosh. I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to come do the show with me. So I knew, you're a huge Wally fan, so I couldn't do the show without having you on, you know what I mean? And you just saying yes to doing it. So thank you. And you were so poised and you were so professional with your questions. I mean, you made me look bad, so thank you.
No.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was nervous. I guess I said, well, I'll eat afterwards because then I'll be all whipped up and I'm hungry. I'll eat afterwards. So after we get off the phone, I'll eat.
Yeah, we're going to be getting off here in a second, but I just wanted to thank everyone who listened to the show. I want to thank Wally for coming on the show and just being a part of this great night. It was a lot of fun. We got to get a lot of questions answered, and just have a great time. And his response about the gay storyline, that was just amazing. And just everything all together. And all the fans that called in, thank you very much. You guys did amazing. Your questions were just perfect, and you could tell Wally really appreciated the love that you guys have and we all have for gays. So thank you, everyone. We're working on some shows for next week, so look forward to it. I'm hoping to book 2 shows for next week. I'll keep you informed on Twitter and on Facebook. I love you all, and I love you, my fabulous guest co-host. And,
thank you. I love you.
The next show I have, I'm going to have my 2 new co-hosts, Amy and Sheila, on with me. So it's going to be very exciting. And hopefully at some point I'll have you back with me again as a guest co-host. So
you're the best.
Yes, you're the best too. So good night to everyone. And this is Gaptown Divas, Travis, and my co-host, Dana, signing out. Good night, everyone.
Night.